Welcome back to my channel. So despite what you're seeing in the title, yes, my hair fell out. All of it, okay? All of it fell out. So recently, my channel hit 1,000 subscribers and I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram for our 1,000 subscriber Q&A, which we did. It's on my channel right now if you didn't watch it. I noticed a lot of you guys submitted questions that had to do with my weight loss surgery, and I didn't want to answer those questions in my Q&A because I really want to get more in depth with some of those questions that were asked and push out kind of like story times about my experiences, because I think they could be really beneficial to somebody who's about to go through the same procedure that I went through. So one of the most commonplace questions was asked towards a potential side effect you can get when you have a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is the name of the weight loss surgery, the procedure that I had. It's commonly abbreviated as VSG on YouTube. But everybody wanted to know, Rhea, did you lose hair? Did your hair fall out? And the answer to that question is yes. All of it fell out, okay? All of it. So I remember somebody had asked me this question like years back when I first came out of surgery. I was probably like 5 months into surgery and I was feeling great and I had all my hair still intact. I think I had braids in my hair. Like, you could probably find the video on my channel somewhere. But at that time, I had not lost any hair. I was like on top of the world. I had lost like 30 pounds in a month and I was just feeling so great. But I swear to you, right after that video is when the drama started. Like, I swear on everything. So it happened gradually. It didn't just like happen all at once. Basically, how it started was I noticed my natural hair's curl pattern was acting kind of funky. So I have shrinkage to my curl pattern. If water touches my hair kind of like shrinks up and curls. And I noticed when I was taking showers that my hair wasn't shrinking up. It was kind of still staying limp. So I was retaining my length, but my hair was still curling. And it was like not normal for me. Even my sisters noticed my curl pattern. They were like, what's going on with your hair? And I'm kind of freaking out at this point. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. At first I thought it might have been heat damage because I had just been getting back into blow drying my hair, but I always use a heat protectant when I use any kind of heat to my hair. And I also didn't do it that frequently for my curls to be looking that way. So that was the first indicator that something bad was about to happen, but
it went from worse to worse, sir.
I didn't want to think about it. After you have your surgery, you're usually prescribed to take a multivitamin. It's like a super multivitamin. It has every single vitamin you can think of all in one circular chalky tablet, a very chalky tablet. But they urge you to take that multivitamin because you're not taking in as many nutrients in your first couple of months because your stomach is healing. And so it's basically like a replacement towards all the food that you would be eating. And it's so vital and so important. It also helps with your muscle function and your muscle lining to build back up. It helps you rebuild proteins. And yeah, it's just really important to take. So I've been taking them religiously and I have been following all of my doctor's instructions out of surgery, but my hair was still acting funky. So, oh my goodness, this is so traumatizing to talk about. One day, wash day, I jumped into the shower. I was using my shampoo as I normally was, scrubbing at my scalp. And guys, when I tell you, I was scrubbing, and when I lifted my hands, in both hands, it was just clumps of hair. Like massive clumps of hair, and they just lifted from my scalp. It was as if I put like a hair removal cream on my scalp and then just like wiped it away. It was just painless. It came out from the root. Like, it was just clumps of hair. When I went underneath the shower to rinse out like the shampoo from my scalp, all I was seeing was just hair falling down, like black hair against the white porcelain of the shower floor. And I was just like, what is happening? What is going on? Guys, when I tell you I freaked out, when I came out of the shower, I remember just feeling how thin, especially the back of my head, which is like the thickest part of my hair. I mean, the crown is always a little bit thinner, but like the back of my head has always been very dense. And when I tell you guys, I touched the back of my head and it was just scalp. I wasn't bald, but I noticed like how thin it was. It was just noticeably thin. Like I had never felt my hair that way before, and it was terrifying. And then I still went out of my way to straighten my hair. I don't know why I would add more trauma to my head that was clearly in trauma, but I went out of my way to just blow dry and straighten my hair. And when I was finished, I noticed that like one side of my hair was like up here and the other side was down here because there was so much breakage, guys. So much breakage in that one shower. Like it was horrifying. I went to my older sister and I showed her, and I was just like, you know, my hair feels like dry, like hay, like you know, hay that horses eat. My hair feels dry. It looks crazy. She was like, you know what you should do? You should go and get a haircut, just chop off all those dead ends, and it will probably help your hair just feel a lot healthier as it's growing back in. And I thought, you know, that sounds like a great idea. Sure, like I don't mind getting a haircut. It's fine. Anything, just anything to save my hair. So I went to the hair salon the following weekend, and I sat in the salon chair and I just asked the hairdresser, like, can you just give me a bob? Like, give me like the Dora the Explorer. Cut it off, even it out, please, because I don't know what to do anymore. And she did. She gave me a beautiful bob. I still really like that haircut to this day, and I think about cutting my hair that way again all the time. But I had that bob and it really didn't help anything, because when I tell you, my hair just felt so thin. I could touch the top of my head at this point, like anywhere around my head, and just feel scalp. Wind was blowing. I could feel the wind, like I could feel it, and I was just like, oh no, like this is really, really bad. So I really didn't know what to do at that point, and I decided to go back to my doctor and talk to somebody in the bariatric center. And thankfully for me, at the bariatric center that I went to, the nutritionist and the doctor are always available to you for the rest of your life. They tell you that all the time, no matter how far out you are after your surgery, you can always come back and we'll always give you guidance, and I'm so thankful to them for that. So I went back and I spoke with the nutritionist specifically, and I was telling her about the side effect that I was experiencing. And I still have the note in my phone to this day about what she told me, because I was so desperate, guys, when I tell you. I was so desperate to try to save my hair. But what she told me basically is that your hair loss is your body's response to the surgery, and it also comes from, obviously, nutritional deficiencies. It brings a shock to your body when you're not eating 3 meals a day. On top of that, you're rapidly losing weight, your body's going through ketosis, there's so much going on, and it doesn't really know how to function. So your body goes through a period of stress, and it's extreme stress that causes your hair to fall out. So even if you are taking your vitamin, you can still go through malabsorption, which is what she told me, and there's really nothing you can do about it. I mean, if your hair falls out, it falls out. So sadly for me, and a lot of other people that I know who've had this surgery, my hair fell out. So I kept my bob for another couple of months until I just figured it was pointless, because even though I had my hair cut, I still had clumps of hair coming out. It was just not looking good. I basically finally came back to reality, and I looked at my situation and I told myself, okay, Rhea, what's the big deal? Like, if it's falling out, it's falling out, and there's no use in saving these strands on your head because it just looks ridiculous at this point. And there's nothing you can do about it. Every time I would wash my hair was falling out. So it was pretty much inevitable. One day I woke up in the morning and I just went down to the kitchen and I grabbed the scissors and I cut all my hair off. I just cut it all off. What was nice was that since I kind of was transitioning hairstyles, I went from the bob to kind of just leaving it alone to seeing what was gonna happen. I had some hair growing out at the root, and I could see that it was coming back in my old curl pattern, and I was really happy about that because I kind of had hope that when my hair grew back in, it would be even healthier than it was to begin with. So when I cut my hair, I cut it where like the waves started at my hair and where like the dry looking horse hay hair was laying, and I just snipped it. But because my hair had broken off so unevenly, my hair turned out super uneven. Like, I took some really nice pictures of what it was, but in reality, it was a disaster. My mother was like, why didn't you go to a hair salon and let them do it? And I had to tell my mom, I woke up and I did this on impulse. And if I didn't do it right then and there, I was not gonna do it. So I had to do it right then and there. So I did my big chop, basically that was my big chop. And it took about 2 years for my hair to grow back fully. And then I believe I cut my hair sometime in between again because I still kind of felt like the ends of my hair were acting funky. It took a while for my body to regulate itself and go back into its normal like digestive pattern. So my hair is now, I think after 4 years, finally at its normal place. It's like the nicest I've had my hair in a very long time, especially because my hair used to be chemically treated when I was younger. And yeah, so this is my natural hair now and I'm pretty pleased with it. In between those 2 years too, I was kind of lucky because we had the COVID lockdown and nobody saw me with my crazy hair. I was at home just letting it grow out and be free, and I didn't have to go into work, so nobody at work saw me with my hair in like a troll state because it was something else. My mom at one point, she said I looked like a porcupine. And then I also got to experiment with a lot of protective styles. So I went in between like sew-ins and different wigs and braids. And I still wear wigs every now and then because I just want to give my hair a rest from styles like this that need heat. And just from like the daily toll of like washing. Well, I don't wash my hair daily, but you know, like the bi-weekly toll of having to put products onto your hair. I still like to do protective styles to my hair every now and then. But yes, there's so many different side effects that come from weight loss surgery, and I really do feel like they're brushed on when you're going in for these surgeries. I mean, they have to speak to you about all these things. They have to find out about your mental health and where you are. You have to speak to a nutritionist before you have these surgeries just to make sure that you understand the diet. I feel like they don't put enough emphasis on some of these side effects. I had other side effects other than the hair loss. Like at one point I had terrible ketosis breath. I mean, it was so bad. I swear, like, ketosis breath is probably one of the worst things I've experienced, but thankfully for me, it was only in like the first 2 weeks out of my surgery where I lost like this massive amount of weight, and I didn't really have to deal with it in any other places because I heard that you can get ketosis funk like in your underarms, in your areas, and like it can get really bad. So I got lucky with that. But again, I find that they only just brush over some of these side effects and they don't really go into great depth and detail about it. So I really want to talk more about that in future videos. But this was the one question that I got over and over and over again, and I'm here to tell you, yes, it happened to me and it's really unavoidable for some people. So if that's something that you think is really gonna affect you, I would take that into consideration before having the surgery. But to be honest, I didn't really care that much about losing my hair. I mean, it just kind of felt like a vanity side effect to something that was for a greater cause. My health means everything to me, and if I could lose weight and better my health and avoid diabetes, I mean, losing my hair, I think, is like a cakewalk. And it's back. So it's back and it's better than ever. Like, it feels really, really great. It's back completely and it's growing. This is the longest I've had my hair in a while. I mean, like, my natural hair. I haven't reached lengths like this since I was like a baby. And my hair was even longer than that. So I would love to see how much longer my hair grows. And yeah, I'm pleased with it. I mean, it is what it is, guys. It's all part of it. So I hope this video finally answered that question for you guys. And if you have any other questions about my weight loss surgery journey, you can leave them down in the comment section, and I will be making more videos like this in the future. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.